Let's finish out our residential roof type series in this part 2 video. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at level 1. We're going to start off with the second row, and this is going to be the low slope flat roof. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go to the architecture tab, grab the roof by footprint. It says, do we want to move to level 2? We do. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use the rectangle tool. We've been using pick walls, but we're going to go ahead and try another method. And here we're going to end up doing no defined slope, and an offset of 1 foot is going to be what we're going to put on this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the outside corner of the building, and I'm going to click on the opposite corner. And when I do, that's going to go ahead and automatically apply a 1 foot offset with utilizing the rectangle tool. So I'm going to go ahead and select the green check mark. I'm going to go ahead and move to the 3D view. And here you'll see the flat or low slope roof already be applied. I'm going to go ahead and select the walls and go ahead and attach top and then select the roof. All right, our next one is going to be the gambrel style roof. This one here actually requires us to have a reference plane. So in order to do that, we're going to be here on the architecture tab, and I'm going to move down to the work plane panel and grab reference plane. And really what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the midpoint, just like here shown on screen, is showing. So it's got a purple triangle, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to run right down the center of our building. And notice it says click to name. So I'm going to click on this, and we're just going to go ahead and name this to be roof. And that way we can go ahead and do that. Now, in order to kind of properly draw this, I'm actually going to go up here by the 3D view, and I'm going to grab the section view. And I'm going to use that line. I'm going to kind of leave just a little bit of room here. And I'm going to draw right on that line. When I right click, I'm going to go ahead and say go to view. So that way that kind of shows this. So if we need to open up our crop region a little bit, we can. But what we're going to do here is we're going to now utilize something called, we've been using roof by footprint, but we can also use something called roof by extrusion. So I'm actually going to go ahead and select that option from the drop-down menu. It's going to ask me what kind of plane do I want to pick a plane, and I'm just going to go ahead and change to name, and I want to select the reference plane that's named roof that we just created. And I'm going to select OK. It's going to ask, do we want to move it to level 2? I'm going to select OK to go ahead and move it to that level. And then now we have the draw tools available. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right here in the middle on the midpoint. And I'm going to go ahead and make this about 7 feet tall. And then what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and touch off of this corner just to kind of keep a tracking line here. And about 6'9" looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and click. Again, numbers don't really matter in this case. I'm going to go down probably about another 5 foot or so, kind of like this. And we can kind of make this as close as we can. Main thing is we're learning the tools on how to use this. So now that I have the outside line of my gambrel style kind of roof, what I can do is I'm going to use this mirror pick axis option. And I'm going to go ahead and select this line. I'm going to hold the control key. I'm going to select this line. And then I'm going to right click and say to finish the selection. Alternatively, you can also hit the enter key or the space bar to make that happen. But then I want to pick the axis of reflection, which is this line right here, and it's going to mirror it across that line. Once I have that, I can go ahead and say cancel, and I can go ahead and delete this line because I don't really need that anymore. I'm going to go ahead and say finish the edit mode. We're going to see that here, if I open up my crop region just a little bit more, this is the gambrel style roof that gets shown. One thing to kind of notice is like how the ends of the rafters are being cut. You can change that over here in the properties palette to a 2-plumb cut like this, or even a 2-cut square. So you see it didn't really make a big difference there. So 2-cut plumb, I should say, is going to be, probably looks a little bit more like a regular gambrel style roof. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the 3D view. You're going to notice with roof by extrusion, it is going to run through some of the walls of our other buildings. So if I select it, I will have some of these blue arrows that'll show up, and I can go ahead and shorten this down to what I need it to be. Same thing on the other side here. I can actually extend this out. I'm actually going to look at it from the front or the south view and go ahead and shorten this until it's kind of matching up with the building behind it. And that's where we can kind of see what's going on there. I'm going to go ahead and drag back around. There's our gambrel style roof. If I select the wall, press the tab key, go ahead and select the walls, attach top, and then select the roof. That will create our kind of barn style looking roof that we're looking for, or the gambrel style. All right, the last two we're going to be doing here, a gable and valley. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize on the architecture tab, roof by footprint. And we're going to go ahead and say, yep, we do want to move to level 2. And we're going to go ahead and stick with the pick walls option. We're going to go ahead and have an overhang of 1 foot. And we're going to kind of take a look at kind of the design of this gable and valley that we're looking for. And the walls we're going to pick here that have defined slope being checked, we're going to pick this wall here. And then we're also going to end up picking this wall and this wall, as well as this wall and this wall. I'm going to uncheck and then choose the remaining walls to kind of have something like this. Now, the nice thing is a lot of the trim tool and everything like that's already kind of made this for us. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and select the finish edit mode. And here you're going to see now this is our gable with valley kind of setup. So I'm actually going to select the wall, press the tab key. It'll select all the walls in the chain, attach top, and go ahead and select the roof. And there we go. There's our gable with valley kind of setup. The last one here is going to be the hip and valley. So in this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and grab that roof command. We do want to move it to level 2. And I'm going to go ahead and check define slope. In this case, we're going to have every one of our walls is going to come around and be able to pick up and have slope. I'm going to select the green check mark. I'm going to go ahead and go to 3D view. There's our hip and valley kind of scenario. If I select the wall, press the tab key, go ahead and grab all those, attach the top, and then select that. That is going to finish up our residential roof types and be all done with this particular exercise.